Welcome to the Clinician's Corner, the go-to podcast for functional health practitioners who want to deepen their clinical skills and deliver exceptional client results. I'm your host, Margaret Floyd-Barry, Master Restorative Health Practitioner and Executive Director of the Institute of Restorative Health. Each week, I interview leading experts to bring you the latest research, case studies, and evidence-based strategies for reversing chronic disease with actionable insights you can implement immediately to elevate your practice and transform how you deliver health. Welcome back to the Clinician's Corner. I'm your host, Margaret Floyd-Barry, and today's Clinical Pearl is an excerpt from my conversation with David Roberts and Dr. John Gildea from Mara Labs. This is the team behind one of my favorite products, BrocElite, a stabilized sulforaphane supplement. In this clip, David shares his very personal story of how his wife's breast cancer diagnosis sparked the search that ultimately led to developing a stable form of sulforaphane, something that had never before been achieved. Dr. Gildea explains the science behind sulforaphane, how it's normally created when broccoli is chewed, and why it's been so hard to capture in supplement form, as well as what makes BrocElite different. We also touch on sulforaphane's remarkable anti-cancer properties, its role as a chemosensitizer, and some of the controversies in oncology research models that often get misunderstood. This short excerpt is a fascinating look at the origins of BrocElite and the groundbreaking science behind it. Enjoy.
Sulforaphane is the good molecule that comes from broccoli. And so I got interested in it over, 11 years ago now, after my wife, Mara, was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so we ended up growing her cells in our lab. And John was able to find that sulforaphane was number 3 in directly killing her type of cancer. And so when I went out to buy it, though, I couldn't find it because it wasn't stable. And so all the broccoli supplements on the market at the time, and all but 2 now, are the precursor molecule that comes before sulforaphane called glucoraphanin. So what we ended up doing is just growing lots and lots of broccoli sprouts and juicing them. And so we did that for a while. And I think I had made the passing comment to John, sure, it would be nice to have sulforaphane in the capsule that was stabilized. Because at the time we had a 1 and 3-year-old, and then you're like how I'd have a sprouting operation for like 10 families, for that we would go through it, because we were juicing every day, and so a couple years later, John's like, "Hey, I think I stabilized it." I was like, "What?" And so we sent it out for third-party testing, and sure enough, he had stabilized it. If you have a head of broccoli, take a bite of it, you start chewing it, there's a compound in it called glucoraphanin. And then you start chewing it, and the cell wall of the broccoli gets broken, and it releases an enzyme called myrosinase that interacts with the glucoraphanin that converts it into sulforaphane. You swallow the benefit. But if you try to harvest it and put it in a capsule, it degrades because it's not stable. The glucoraphanin can also be called sulforaphane glucosinolate.
Hi friends, it's Margaret here with some news I am super excited to share with you. As many of you know, I am not just your podcast host, I am also the Executive Director of the Institute of Restorative Health. And for years, we have been getting the same request from practitioners everywhere. They'll say to me, "I've heard incredible things about your clinical training programs, but I can't wait for your next certification cohort. Can I start learning now?" Well, the answer is finally yes. And I couldn't be more thrilled about what this means for practitioners who are ready to transform how they approach client care. We are launching Mastering the Art and Science of Gastrointestinal Healing Core Curriculum Self-Study through the Institute of Restorative Health. This gives you immediate access to the foundational curriculum that has equipped over 1,400 certified practitioners worldwide. This is perfect if you're searching for the most effective approaches to help your clients feel better, faster, and get meaningful results. You're going to get all foundational training modules, curated Q&A sessions from previous cohorts, and dozens of real-world case studies, all at your own pace for 1 full year. Now, I want to be clear. This provides foundational knowledge and curriculum access. It's not comprehensive clinical training. You're not going to receive live instruction, the personalized mentorship, or the certification through the Institute of Restorative Health. Think of it as exploring our methodology before deciding on full certification. So for $1,400, you can dive in today instead of wondering whether our approach is right for you. And if you decide you want a complete certification experience later on, you can upgrade anytime, and we'll apply your investment towards that full certification tuition. Visit instituteofrestorativehealth.com to learn more and enroll in the core curriculum today. Your next breakthrough starts with understanding these foundations. The question is, are you ready to begin? Again, that's instituteofrestorativehealth.com. We'll see you there.
Is it safe to recommend to people with either active cancer or with a history of cancer?
All of the cancer models is kind of one of the things that I do is you take cancer and you grow it in a culture dish, and then you scoop up those cells and plant it into a mouse that's a SCID mouse. So it's severe combined immunodeficiency mouse, and you grow it. And so what they're doing is they're overexpressing NRF2 in those cells, and then doing that model and then putting drugs on them, right? So that you can see how that system is a kind of a flawed system, in that you're taking a cell line that is cancerous because the person most likely died because they didn't respond to chemotherapy, so their NRF2 is low. And then you take a gene and overexpress that one gene in that cell line, and then that cell is able to detox. And then you put chemotherapy on it and say it's worse. So it's a funny model. And so when you take sulforaphane in a person that has cancer, as I'm sure you know, that model is that they've cured mice of cancer in at least 1,000 papers. It's incredibly strong anti-cancer compound, but specifically in the tumor to metastasis transition.
Steph is asking, is it safe for somebody who's actively going through chemotherapy?
So it's known to be a chemosensitizer, blocks a lot of the side effects, but that is clearly in the oncology world because it turns on the antioxidant system. They almost always will say no.
Thank you, is what I want to say, is for everything that you're doing and this incredible contribution to people's health and recovery from all the things. So important, and really excited to be playing with these products in different connotations. I know the practitioner community here is going to have a question. Have we integrated them into the healing solutions? We are working on it. We're going to be integrating them into our clinical mastery program. But thank you all. Take great care. Have a good evening. Thank you, David, John. This is wonderful.